What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the quartering. Smash like if, I don't know, if you're having a day, a good day or a bad day. Either way, hopefully you're having a good day or a better day, at least for the next 10 minutes. How many of you are in the bathroom right now? Cinemark, AMC theaters across the United States are collapsing. Billions of dollars in new debt. And I don't see a way out of it for many of them without a major restructure. And here's three articles today just covering Cinemark swings to $170 million quarterly loss, takes $19.5 million charge for job and theater cuts. Quote, "We are thrilled that 97% of guests surveyed have expressed high satisfaction with how Cinemark is protecting their health and safety." Well, it's not open. The company led by Mark Zoradi on Tuesday reported a loss of $170 million compared with a year ago profit of $101 million. That's a $270 million swing. The latest quarter included a restructuring charge of nearly $20 million due to a permanent reduction in the headcount and permanent closure of certain underperforming theaters. The company said June ended with 5,977 screens. So they took $20 million to close down theaters as well as having wide-scale layoffs. The company's financial results continue to be impacted by the lockdown, it said. During late June 2020, the company opened 5 theaters in the U.S., showing library content to test its new health and safety protocols. The company's U.S. operating segment had 13,000 patrons attend these test and learn theaters, generating a whopping $37,000 in admissions revenues and $57,000 in concessions. Total revenue for the quarter dropped from $957 million to 9. That's $1 billion drop. $1 billion. Just from Cinemark. Which also included the amortization of deferred national cinemedia screen advertising agencies. Revenue for second quarter, the first fully affected by the lockdown, fell sharply as cinemas were shuttered, wiping out ticket concession sales for much of the period. The company not only operates in the United States, but has a big Latin American operation, which also has been hit hard. Among costs of operations, Cinemark disclosed that film rentals and advertising dropped from nearly $295 million to $388,000, while spending on salaries and wages fell from $109 million to less than $9 million. MKM Partners analyst Eric Handler wrote in his earnings preview report for Cinemark remains in a solid defensive position with approximately $480 million in cash as of March 31st and a manageable cash burn of roughly $50 million a month. He had to forecast a second quarter loss of $150 million after profit of $245 million in the same year. Let me break that down. Let me break down those numbers. We had a nearly $300 million swing in quarter one. We're going to have a nearly $400 million swing. Check that. Yes, $400 million swing in quarter two. They also say they're burning cash at $50 million a month. With $480 million in cash, that only gives them 10 months before they're out of money. I don't know why that would be in such a good position. 10 months at this rate, I don't think that theaters in this country are going to open till after Christmas. I'm not sure. I don't believe that's going to be happening. Look at what happened now, what's happening to AMC. AMC Theaters credit rating downgraded over, quote, distressed debt swap. Debt rating agency S&P Global, the research firm downgraded AMC's credit rating to SD, that's selective default, from CC. AMC recently unveiled a debt restructuring agreement with its bondholders that included $200 million in fresh cash and the Silver Lake Group purchasing $100 million in new senior notes. The $200 million was made available through a rights offering of new subordinated debt to allow holders of AMC's existing subordinated notes to exchange their securities. To complete the debt exchange, now these are just some numbers I want to share with you. AMC issued $1.46 billion of new second lien secured notes due 2026. We estimate the lenders are receiving roughly 70 to 75% par value. The latest debt restructuring at AMC follows the company raising $500 million in new debt to bolster its balance sheet liquidity in April as it generated no revenue during lockdown. At what point do you see AMC theaters even reopening? Christmas? I don't even know. And once it reopens, are you going to go? The real threat here is VODs, right? For premium VODs, for non-blockbuster type films, way more people are just going to stay home. This is going to be how it goes. Will I want to see Tenet in the theater? Probably. Would I want to see, I don't know, a new John Wick film in the theater? Yeah, probably. Maybe. Is it some rando comedy? Nah. Horror movie? I suppose, yeah. Maybe the Halloween movie I'd like to see in the theater. It's tough to recreate the spooky environment. But I mean, bottom line is, with premium VOD and more time than ever to just wait on these products, I can say with 100% certainty that I will be viewing more movies downloaded, right? At least I will increase the rate, which means, of course, conversely, that I will be decreasing the rate in which I go to Hollywood cinemas. AMC Network's quarterly U.S. ad revenue drops 14.6%. This is another bizarre one to me. How did you drop ad revenue when everybody's sitting at home? I suppose unless people are spending less. The company led by CEO Josh Sapan had previously projected the second quarter U.S. ad revenue would fall about 30%. AMC Networks, the cable networks that oversees AMC, IFC, WeTV, BBC America, and Sundance TV, on Tuesday reported lower second quarter earnings and said U.S. advertising revenue fell nearly 15%. Less than previously feared in the first quarter that was fully affected by lockdown. The company said the decrease in advertising revenue was primarily related to the impact of the lockdown, which resulted in lower demand, as well as the timing of airing of original programming. But what about all those Stunning and Brave? Now, more than ever, you can buy our stuff. The company also said AMC Networks in its first quarter earnings report had said it expects to reach 3.5 million to 4 billion paid subscribers in aggregate for its four niche streaming services, namely Acorn TV, Shudder, Sundance Now, and UMC by the end of 2020, a full 2 years ahead of the company's original target of 2022, while streaming is becoming more popular, a la carte. But I honestly believe that streaming, all these micro services, is going to be short-lived. People cut the cord because they got sick of paying $100 a month. If you're paying for Hulu, Netflix, then Disney Plus comes in and strips your shows out of Hulu, so now you got to pay for Disney Plus. Then you want horror movies, so you got to get Chiller. Oh, and then you want this and that. Before you know it, you're paying $60 a month, and you're still not watching as much TV as you used to. It's going to be interesting to see how theaters rebound. I mean, Sony itself, theatrical revenue fell to $6 million amid the lockdown, but home entertainment surged 60%. Sony grew its operating earnings to $230 million in the first fiscal quarter from a profit a year ago of $3 million, despite nearly no theatrical revenue. That's impressive. I mean, really, it is. Revenue of Sony Pictures for the latest quarter reached $1.63 billion, Down 4% from nearly 1.7, theatrical revenue fell 96% from 164 million to 6. But home entertainment surged 60% from 200 million to 319. The studio's TV production business was a rare area of strength, with revenue rising 44%. Again, people are starting to get back to work, though, and will they be as interested in going back to the theater? Will they be interested in continuing to support Hollywood, who continues to put out more and more divisive content? More information comes out around certain people in Hollywood that continue to be protected. Will people be more interested in using a sweet VPN service to get a hold of certain films that they once wanted? It'll be interesting to see what will the new consoles bring in terms of home entertainment. Will people be more likely to stream once they have a PS5 or the new Xbox? For me, the modern theater experience will be very difficult it's very difficult to see it feeling like normal ever again. That doesn't mean, hey, in 3 years, when all this is behind us, hopefully, are we just going to be going back to the theater like normal? I don't think so. Will theaters still exist? Of course. But I don't think they'll be in the numbers that we see now. I think they're going to have to be more a la carte or more have a different kind of experience other than like the herding people in. They're going to have like a premium experience to cater to people willing to pay $30 a ticket so that they can afford to, antibacterial every single seat afterwards, and provide, a Marvel themed mask with popcorn hole in it. This is what the first theaters are going to look like when they reopen again. I'm predicting probably not till January, February, but I could be wrong. Let me know when you think the theaters are going to reopen and if you're ever going to attend again. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.